Your top stories this evening sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. What's the holdup with the 2022 census? Government still unsure when those figures will be released. Why is the opposition so silent on luxury car racket revelations? V-PAC DORWAIN BESS says he's a victim of the scheme. 7. New immersive experiences launched as part of ongoing Tourism Awareness Month activities. And in sport, 20th Diamond Mineral Water International Hockey Festival officially launched. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Travis Chase with the Wednesday, November 26 edition of the HGP Nightly News. We have what you need to know this evening. We begin first up by telling you that government is not yet sure when the data relative to the 2022 population and housing census will be released. A senior government minister was pressed for answers on this issue. Here is more. Senior Minister with responsibility for finance in the Office of the President, Dr. Ashley Singh, said on Monday that he is still awaiting a definitive update on the overdue 2022 population and housing census, emphasizing that government is also eager for the final report to be made public.
You're absolutely correct. This is very high on my agenda for discussion with the chief statistician because I too would like to see it concluded in this year.
The minister, who was speaking briefly with reporters at the Marriott Hotel, acknowledged that he does not yet know the reason behind the more than 3-year delay. He explained that he intends to raise the matter directly with Guyana's chief statistician.
I need to have an engagement with the chief statistician to find out where it is because we as a government would like it to be concluded and issued very soon.
Despite the census being completed in 2022, not even preliminary results have been published. Pressed on when he last engaged the Bureau, the minister said that meeting would happen very soon.
Well, I'm going to have that engagement very soon with him.
The Bureau of Statistics' last update came in October of 2024, promising that early findings would be released soon, but a year has since passed with no disclosure. While the Bureau has dismissed political interference allegations as simply erroneous, it has attributed the setback to its focus on data accuracy and pointed out that several Caribbean states, Barbados, Grenada, Dominica, Jamaica, and St. Lucia, have all recorded lengthy census delays. The Bureau maintains that it remains committed to producing results that meet recognized statistical standards, noting that it operates as a semi-autonomous body under the Statistics Act of 1965 and the principles of the United Nations. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. Meanwhile, Senior Minister with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashley Singh, announced that work on Budget 2026 is progressing well, with initial proposals submitted by ministries, while ongoing stakeholder consultations continue.
And that comprehensive agenda was reflected in our manifesto, which addressed both the overarching framework and vision, the bold and exciting vision of our president. Work has certainly already started on budget preparation. The various ministries and government agencies have already prepared their respective budget submissions.
That was Senior Minister with responsibility for finance in the Office of the President, Dr. Ashley Singh, speaking to reporters on the sidelines of the UK-Ghana Trade Mission event. Dr. Singh told reporters that the government continues to take pride in rolling out a predictable policy given the conducive environment. This, he said, is key to guiding national development and sustaining public confidence. The finance minister emphasized that the administration's manifesto, presented before the September 2025 elections, will form the basis for the 2026 national budget.
And those budget submissions, as you can imagine, flesh out in greater detail the commitments that would have been given in the manifesto.
According to the minister, this approach by the Ministry of Finance and other partner agencies will formulate a policy direction and spending priorities for the upcoming fiscal year. As the government continues to trumpet its development plan nationally, the 2022 population and housing census, which is a key driver of the decision-making process, as it relates to policy and economic advancement, is yet to be made public. This data is critical for planning across every level of government, business, academia, and civil society. Yet 2 years on, Guyanese are still waiting on that data. Antonio Day, reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Our developing story now, an outspoken politician has revealed that he is a victim of the luxury car racket operating in Guyana. That politician is also questioning the deafening silence from some quarters of the combined opposition. Chairman of the Vigilant Political Action Committee, DORWAIN BESS, has revealed that he himself is a victim of the unfolding luxury car racket revelations gripping national attention. BESS describes how high-end vehicles were retagged, altered, and passed through the system with fraudulent VINs, costing consumers millions and depriving the state of significant revenue.
If those cars are being imported through a loophole, then obviously that facility, those funds are not going into the government's coffer. Now, why am I so confident? Because I myself, Travis, is a victim to one of these crimes. I purchased a Range Rover from one of these high-end luxury car dealerships. Maybe, I'm not sure if it's the same one you're referring to. And I'm prepared to share my story, and I'm prepared to meet with any investigator locally or internationally.
The outspoken politician is now openly questioning the deafening silence of sections of the political opposition, saying that in the face of such a massive transnational scheme, the country deserves to know why those who usually speak on corruption have suddenly gone quiet.
None of the, except for one of the opposition, had anything to say on this. Now, how can you stand against corruption and you're sitting there seeing where billions of dollars could have gone to the school teachers, to the nurses, to the soldiers, to the police, and the entire opposition is completely mute?
He suggested that their reluctance to confront the scandal raises serious concerns about whether some may be benefiting directly or indirectly from the very network now under scrutiny.
Is it because they too are benefiting from the unlimited duty-free concession as a member of parliament? Because I can point exactly to a dispute that there was between V-PAC and a coalition partner who proudly said, I've never used my duty-free. I have the same car in 2 years.
Calling for nothing short of a full-scale, independent investigation, BESS said the recordings and documentary evidence now circulating show a well-organized criminal enterprise that could not have operated without systemic failures and possible political protection.
That big vehicle and they say that's coming duty-free, man.
Nobody got people that's pay the duty for the vehicle to worry.
Nah, Raj, that vehicle.
Because the vehicle of 5,000 they go off. How much?
About $30 million duty.
Well, people can buy a vehicle for $30 million.
No, about leaving out buying the vehicle.
$30 million without duty.
Duty alone is about $30 million.
He insists the Guyanese people must demand answers as investigators probe what may be one of the largest vehicle fraud and duty evasion operation in Guyana's history. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. Stay with us. You're watching the HGP Nightly News. Thanks for staying tuned to the HGP Nightly News. To push the envelope in promoting academic discourses and spaces that challenge policies and research-based methods, one media personality has devised the TEDx Turkeyen platform to champion this cause. Antonio Day reports.
Janelle Prasad, curator of TEDx Turkeyen, is on a mission to challenge policies and research-based methods and academic discourses through a dynamic and timely platform, yearning for new ideas, civil reflection, and visionary thinking. The TEDx Turkeyen event was initially set for August 29, 2025 at the George Walcott Lecture Theatre, University of Ghana, but was subsequently postponed. Prasad, during an exclusive interview with Nightly News, outlined the main objectives of this initiative.
When you think about research and how it's presented, there's tons of technical information like in research. You've been at UG, you've seen what that's like. It's like very technical. So I was thinking, how can I help to build the capacity of the researchers and help them to present, using my comms background, to help them to present their findings from their research in a way that the average Guyanese citizen would be interested in.
Grounded in the respected TED model, Prasad emphasized that TEDx Turkeyen unites thinkers, builders, and everyday Guyanese with remarkable stories. The media personality discussed the inspiration and genesis of the name TEDx Turkeyen.
University of Guyana, it's my university for both my first and second degrees. And it's the place where most of my bold and crazy and not so crazy ideas were formed. So Turkeyen is the area where the UG is, and I thought that would be a great place. So TEDx Turkeyen.
The TEDx initiative will also serve as a launchpad for the Ghana Academic Exchange, another quarterly public discourse which places emphasis on academic research and lived experiences in shaping national development. Her recent participation at TEDx 2025 in Atlanta, Georgia, was a fulfilling experience that has both renewed and enabled her to add more value to her platform.
There were people, like I said, doing things within their communities, and I was able to see how they're doing it, to learn from their experiences, to learn from their challenges, how they overcame those challenges, and to share my own. And people were excited to hear about the work that we're hoping to do in Guyana as well.
TEDx Turkeyen is an independently organized TEDx event, licensed by TED, an American-Canadian non-profit media organization that posts international talks online for free distribution under the slogan, "Ideas Change Everything." Prasad noted that the inaugural event, slated for next year, will feature speakers addressing inclusive democracy, justice, youth entrepreneurship, indigenous language preservation, and education in a changing world. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
A police officer took the stand on Wednesday as the court examined key video evidence on day 46 of the ongoing election fraud trial. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
Day 46 of the election fraud trial continued on Wednesday before Acting Chief Magistrate Faith Magusti in the Georgetown Magistrates Court. Police Officer Junior Blair testified that on August 24, 2020, while on duty, he was instructed by the officer in charge of the Major Crimes Unit to meet Bibi Anisha Mohammed. Mohammed handed him a phone containing 16 video files, which he downloaded onto his laptop, placed in a folder, and transferred onto a disk. When the prosecution sought to have the disk admitted into evidence, defense attorney Ronald Daniels objected, noting that the defense needed an opportunity to review the contents first. Magistrate Magusti commented on the status of disclosure, noting that the court had received no communication from the defense, which was to be done by 1500 hours on Tuesday, regarding any missing documents. She pointed out that records before the court show statements filed on June 15, 2020, were uplifted by defense attorney U.C. Anderson, and she emphasized their intention for the matter to proceed without unnecessary delays. The court then moved into a voir dire, where Detective Sergeant Alwyn Jones, a videographer, testified about conducting a video interview with Enrique Liven during a confrontation with former Minister Rupson Ben. Jones was later cross-examined by attorney Anderson. The defense also indicated that the copies of Mohammed's spreadsheet evidence were unclear. Fresh copies were printed and distributed during the afternoon session. Mohammed is expected to return to the stand on November 27 to conclude her testimony and face cross-examination. The charges stem from investigations into alleged attempts to manipulate the 2020 election results. The defendants face 19 conspiracy-related charges, and the prosecution plans to call approximately 73 witnesses during the trial. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
The government has launched a major new initiative aimed at strengthening gender equality and reducing discrimination in workplaces across Guyana. Here again is Tiana Cole.
The Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, in partnership with the Ministry of Labor and Manpower Planning and the Ministry of Public Service and Government Efficiency and Implementation, on Wednesday launched the National Gender Equality and Empowerment Seal. The landmark initiative aims to strengthen gender mainstreaming and prevent sexual and gender-based discrimination and violence within workplaces throughout Guyana. Minister of Human Services and Social Security Dr. Venya Prasad said the country's progress is often measured by the empowerment it offers its people and the strength of its leadership. She stressed that a gender seal is not just a policy, but an actionable program with measurable indicators.
And we need to also let men and women know it must not be because it is a quota system that you get your space and place. it must be on merit. Because when one speaks of equality, it also speaks of merit.
Meanwhile, Minister of Labour and Manpower Planning Keoma Griffith noted that Ghana is evolving rapidly and emphasized the importance of ensuring workplaces grow at the same time.
The challenges are unmistakable. Women still face higher unemployment, discrimination, and increased harassment. Men in low-wage sectors often endure unsafe conditions. Single parents, youth, migrants, and other vulnerable groups continue to struggle quietly. These are workforce concerns.
He added that the initiative aligns with the government's 2020 manifesto, which commits to advancing workplace protection and promoting equality and social justice.
The Gender Equality and Empowerment Seal offers a national pathway for meaningful change. It strengthens workplace systems, fosters fairness, and ensures that equality becomes an international chapter in Guyana's development story.
Also addressing the event, Minister of Public Service and Government Efficiency and Implementation, Zulfikar Ali, said Ghana has made significant progress in women's participation across both the public and private sectors. He said the seal will serve as a reminder that discrimination in any form is unacceptable.
We all have to make sure that this seal is known widely and publicly, and known for what it represents. We all have a part to play in this.
The initiative launched under Minister Prasad's 16 Days of Activism campaign also seeks to raise awareness of gender-based violence and emphasize the need to address it not only within homes, but also across workplaces. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay with us. You're watching the HGP Nightly News. Thanks for staying tuned to the HGP Nightly News. The Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, in collaboration with the Guyana Tourism Authority, continued its Tourism Awareness Month of activities with the launch of 7 new immersive experiences. Marvin Cato is on this story.
7 new tourism experiences designed to enhance visitors' connections with Guyana's culture and landscapes were launched yesterday as the drive towards enhancing and bettering Guyana's tourism offerings continued. The new products were revealed at the tourism product launch and cocktail evening at the Artichoke Convention Center on Tuesday. The event brought together operators, partners, and key stakeholders for an evening that showcased innovation and growth across the tourism sector. Delivering the feature address, Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Susan Rodriguez, was keen to highlight the ongoing transformation of Guyana's tourism landscape and its potential to become one of the major pillars of the national economy.
And so, in the next 5 years, we will be ensuring, and I can speak on behalf of the government of Guyana, that we grow and build the tourism sector.
She reminded that the government remains committed in supporting tour operators as small businesses as part of its policy on small business development.
Activities, Tourism Awareness Month. We've started the campaign, as I said, that tourism is everybody's business. We started a low budget campaign, but we're hoping to expand this campaign.
Director of Guyana Tourism Authority, Kamrul Bash, during his remarks, emphasized the authority's focus on product development and the continued emphasis on experiential tourism.
Within the last 5 years, the number of tour operators have doubled from around 25 to 50. And the new crop of operators have really been quite innovative.
The program featured presentations from operators introducing the new tourism products, Bush Bar and Bites, Kumaru Expedition, Got Taste, Kids Botania Tour, Cook Like a Guyanese Tour, Celebrating the Coconut, and Guyana Flying Dress. These additions reflect a broader national push to diversify offerings, support community-led tourism initiatives, and create meaningful experiences for both locals and visitors. A key moment during the event was the signing of an MOU between the Wanderlust Adventures Guyana and the Carnegie School of Home Economics to further propel culinary tourism in Guyana. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for regional news.
Good evening and welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Regional News. Cuba has accused the U.S. of seeking a violent overthrow of the Venezuelan government, calling the increased presence of U.S. military forces in the region an exaggerated and aggressive threat. The U.S. overthrowing Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's government would be extremely dangerous and irresponsible, and would be in violation of international law and United Nations Charter, Cuba's Foreign Minister Bruno Rodriguez said in a statement. Maduro, in power since 2013, has contended that Trump seeks to oust him and that Venezuelan citizens and the military will resist any such attempt. Quote unquote, "We appeal to the people of the United States to stop this madness," Rodriguez said. The U.S. government could cause an incalculable number of deaths and create a scenario of violence and instability in the hemisphere that would be unimaginable. Brazil's Supreme Court on Tuesday ordered former far-right President Jair Bolsonaro to begin a 27-year prison sentence for a coup plot against his successor, a climax of 2 years of political turmoil and legal battles over his contentious legacy in Brazilian democracy. The top court formally concluded the case against Bolsonaro yesterday, making his conviction final, pending confirmation by a 4-member Supreme Court panel in the evening. The panel already rejected his appeal this month. Justice Alexander de Moraes told Bolsonaro to start serving his sentence in the Federal Police Superintendency in Brasilia, where he has been detained since Saturday after he tampered with his ankle monitor while under house arrest in a separate case. The decision was the latest setback for a politician who rose from fringe far-right to presidency in 2019, reshaping national debates with a populist style, appeals to military nostalgia, and polarizing stance that left the country deeply divided. Since leaving office in 2022, Bolsonaro has now been convicted, barred from public office, and abandoned by one-time ally U.S. President Donald Trump, who has started reversing steep tariffs imposed to punish Bolsonaro's prosecution. Prime Minister Kamala Prasad-Bissessar met Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Kane, at the Diplomatic Center for talks focused on regional security and continued cooperation between Trinidad and Tobago and the United States. According to a statement issued after the meeting, Prasad-Bissessar outlined her government's position on matters related to narco-trafficking, human trafficking, and transnational crime. She stated that Trinidad and Tobago remains committed to working with the United States to address these issues in the interest of citizens and the wider region. Prasad-Bissessar noted the long-standing ties between both countries and said the relationship has been shaped through ongoing diplomatic engagement. She added that the partnership now plays a role in efforts to protect the region through coordinated security initiatives and information sharing. Thank you for watching. I am Tiana Cole.
Delvin Neblet is up next with HGP's Sports Pulse.
Good evening, Guyana. I'm Delwin Neblet with your HGP TV Sports Pulse for today, Wednesday, November 26, 2025. We begin tonight with squash. Barbados claimed both senior Caribbean squash titles as singles action concluded at the National Racket Center in Wilford Avenue on Tuesday. Kamal Cumberbatch secured the men's crown as Megan Best captured the women's title. Cumberbatch secured his third straight individual title after defeating Bermuda's Micah Franklin, who became the first player in the tournament to win a set against the champion. Megan Best earned her third career title title by overcoming fellow Barbadian and defending champion Margot Pro in a competitive final. Ghana celebrated a podium finish through Ashley Khalil, who defeated compatriot Mary Fangafat to finish third in the women's event. Ghana's best hope of a medal on the men's side, national champion Daniel Ince, finished fourth after suffering back-to-back losses on Tuesday, first to Cumberbatch in the semi-final and then to Bermuda's Taylor Carrick in the third-place playoff. Action commenced today in the team stage of the tournament, where Team Guyana are in hot pursuit of a fifth consecutive CASA title. Moving into hockey, the 20th Diamond Mineral Water International Hockey Festival was officially launched by the Ghana Hockey Board at the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall on Tuesday. Scheduled for November 27 to 30, this year's tournament will feature top Guyanese clubs Old Fort, Pepsi Hikers, GCC, and Saints competing against visiting teams from Trinidad and Tobago. Present at Tuesday's launch were Ghana Hockey Board Vice President Trisha Fiku, DDL Brand Executive Ravina Mangal, and Answer McCall Brand Executive Tristan Freeman. The Trophy Sol and the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport have also given their support to the event. Teams will compete for a combined purse of US $10,000 across the men's, women's, Masters over 40 and Masters over 50 categories. The addition of the two veteran categories connects to preparations for the 2026 Indoor Hockey World Cup in Nottingham, for which the Ghana Hockey Board plans to field multiple age group teams, including a women's squad. Moving into football, action continued tonight in the Ghana Football Federation Division 1 Women's League 2025, with Ansgrove United taking on the Fruta Conquerors FC at the National Training Center in Providence. After 8 rounds of action, the Ghana Defence Force FC find themselves atop the points table, having maintained an unbeaten record. Closely behind are the Ghana Police Force FC, also unbeaten after 8 fixtures. Teams rounding out the top 5 places in the league include Santos FC, Fruta Conquerors FC, and Western Tigers FC in that order. Moving into cricket, the Ghana Harpy Eagles were the victim of yet another no result as action resumed in the 2025 Cricket West Indies Regional Super 50 Cup at the Queen's Park Oval on Tuesday. Going up against the Leeward Island Hurricanes, the match was forcibly abandoned due to the inclement weather, without a solitary delivery being bowled. This marks the third time in 4 matches that the rains have completely washed out the Harpy Eagles fixtures. Ghana will be hoping for better fortunes as they are scheduled to take on the Barbados Pride at the Sir Frank Worrell Memorial Ground in St. Augustine on Thursday. And finally, in cricket, ahead of the first test at the Hagley Oval in Christchurch on December 1st, West Indies commenced the 2-day warm-up match against a New Zealand Select 11 on Tuesday. Winning the toss and batting first, the Windies reached 346 for 5 from 96 overs at the end of day 1. Ghana's very own Tejaran Chandapal top scored with a patient 85 from 211 deliveries, as both Brandon King and John Campbell played well for 79 and 68 respectively. Kaveem Hodge remained unbeaten on 55 from 102. Thomas O'Connor, Toby Hart, Jaden Lennox, and Rahman Hekmat each picked up 1 wicket for the Select 11. That's it for this edition of the HGP TV Sports Pulse. I'm Delwyn Neblett reminding you to stay in the game.
What's the hold-up with the 2022 census? Government still unsure when those figures will be released. Why is the opposition so silent on luxury car racket revelations? V-PAC's BESS says he's a victim of the scheme. 7 new immersive experiences launched as part of ongoing Tourism Awareness Month activities. And in sport, 20th Diamond Mineral Water International Hockey Festival officially launched. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Travis Chase. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.